Good evening. It is November 1st, 2012. This is Jason Horak reporting on the Dodge Daytona electric vehicle. What we're looking at here is the EVTV Green motor, Green WarP 9 motor, that has been reassembled. I put her all back together as requested, and it does not have any brushes in it, so there are no brushes in the brush holders. And I had banged out as much of the debris as I could get out, and now it spins without making crunchy noises. Too much. Now it does not spin very freely. Like you spin it and it kind of seems to bind up a little bit, but again, that may be due to the bearings, or it might be just that there's not enough mass of the drive shaft to spin very fast on its own, just with the amount of turns that I'm giving it. So anyway, so this is the motor, and again, it's all put back together with no brushes, and what we're doing is shipping it back to Netgain and Warfield out in Illinois. So basically, I've been in contact with George Hamstra and Tom Brunka and Jack Rickard and a whole bunch of other people, and they had determined that I really need a WarP 11 motor for my car, which sadly will not fit in with the batteries set up the way they are. So in order to put a WarP 11 motor in this car, I'm going to have to remove essentially these 6 batteries right in the middle, and redesign the battery box so that it kind of wraps around the motor. There just isn't the clearance between the hood and the top of the battery terminals in order to put a WarP 11 beneath this. So that means a complete redesign of the whole engine compartment, and it's going to make it not look nearly as clean and tidy to have a WarP 11 in here. So with much trepidation, I've kind of decided that that is the way to go, or rather I've agreed with Jack and George that my 3,475 pound car is just too darn heavy for the WarP 9, particularly when you're considering driving it 100 to 120 miles on a highway, where large portions of that is 75 miles an hour or more, and it's just too much for that little WarP 9 to handle, I guess, heat-wise. So it can do the power, and it motors the car along really well, and up to 100 miles an hour. But apparently the toll that it takes on the motor is just too much. So it's still rather unclear whether the heat issue in my motor specifically was being caused by it not being one of the new motors that has all the good 26 or so enhancements that have been made over the years to beef them up and do better heat dissipation and all that good stuff. But so anyway, my plan is to ship the motor out tomorrow, and what I've come up with is this giant tote. This thing is something that we had gotten laptops in where I work, and it's kind of a hefty unit. Not sure if we're going to have enough lighting in here, but the light's kind of behind me, but basically it's completely contained with lots of foam padding, and let's see if we can get a better shot of this. So what it's got is these different layers that you can kind of punch out as much foam as you need to fit whatever custom item you want in here. In this case, because I'm going to be putting that WarP 9 in here, I think it will be heavy enough that it'll just compress the foam of the layers underneath. I'll take out a couple of these, put it on, it'll kind of squash them down, and then I'll jam in these other ones on top and close her up, and we should be good with just what we've got here. I might be able to jam some extra foam in or other padding to give it as much protection as I possibly can, but it's a heavy plastic case that You know, it's very rugged. It has wheels on the bottom, big handles. It's designed to carry a whole bunch of stuff. You know, very heavy loads. It has a like this bar here, which I'm probably not going to be able to release on camera, but anyway, it comes up and it works kind of like a dolly with wheels. So I don't know if UPS will take an item that's that heavy, even in this kind of container. But it was shipped. The laptops that we had in here before were 82 pounds. So 150 pounds, it's kind of close, right? Anyway, we'll give it a try, and worst case, I can throw this entire plastic case on a pallet and ship it out freight. So we'll come up with some way to get this motor shipped to Illinois and have the motor rebuilt. And it seems pretty reasonable cost-wise to get the motor rebuilt. It's mostly the shipping that I'm concerned with, because I have no idea how much it's going to be for something this heavy, particularly from a residential shipment situation. But maybe I can take it to work and put it on a pallet there and ship it from that location, and we'll see. So, anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get this motor jammed into this box, and then I'll be right back. Alrighty then. Well, it's actually the next morning, but I've got the motor into this box, and it's on, I don't know, about 4 inches of foam on the bottom and on all the sides. And then I've also got, as you can see, 2 pillows. These are actually pillows in here, so it is pillow packed. And then lastly, I'm going to put the other 2 layers of the foam on top, about like so, and then it'll all mash down in there with the cover, and it should be nice and tight, snug as a bug in a rug, as they say, and hopefully we'll arrive in Illinois in one piece. So, had some trouble getting my gas car started this morning with the rain and now just a little bit of snow. So I'm going to have to wait and ship this out next week, next Monday. But I wanted to get it all packaged up and ready to go today, and then I'll work on that paperwork from Netgain Motors, and we'll go from there. So anyway, have a nice day.